Trains across the country have ground to a halt after Canada's two major railways failed to reach an agreement with their employees. Our Monika Gul is outside the Canadian Pacific Port Coquitlam yard and joins us with the latest. Monika, this work stoppage is expected to have major implications on the supply chain.
That's right, Adrian. More than $1 billion worth of goods are transported by rail every day, according to the Railway Association of Canada. So one can imagine the wide-reaching impact this will have. We are outside the yard here, and just behind me, you can see a picket line. This is one of dozens of picket lines across the country. It was set up just a little after 9 p.m. Pacific after Canadian National Railway and Canadian Pacific Kansas City locked out its more than 9,000 engineers, conductors, and yard workers after all sides failed to reach agreements.
The main issue is one of the options that CPKC proposed would unilaterally gut our collective agreement, specifically of our rest provisions. Obviously, fatigue is an issue when it's a 24/7 operation. So we're trying to keep those rest provisions, and it boils down to safety and the safety of the crews operating trains through the community. So we want an agreement between the two parties, something that's a fair negotiated deal that, we can ratify instead of it being binding arbitration where, we don't know what the outcome may or may not be. So, what we obviously want is, like I said, a negotiated deal.
The shutdown marks the first ever simultaneous work stoppage at both railways and will impact various goods from eggs to grain to new cars from getting to various parts of the country. It will also affect exports and be felt in the U.S. and Mexico as well. The West Coast Express also impacted and not running this morning. That's because the commuter train operates on rail owned by CPKC. TransLink is providing bus service to connect commuters to SkyTrain stations instead. Now, various business groups have been putting out news releases talking about the impact this work stoppage will have on them, and there have been continuous calls for the federal government to step in and impose binding arbitration. So far, the federal government has resisted those calls. Just yesterday, the Prime Minister just urging all sides to reach agreements at the negotiating table.